All right, we're live. Um, I hope I've got sound today. Fingers crossed. What I've done is created this link that you can see down the bottom right here, and that has a link to the Advent of Code website, the videos from what I've been doing so far, and also the current source code on GitHub. Also, as I said, I've had a quick refactor of my code here. So my program is just firing off to other classes, and I've got a static class which has the functions in from day one. I've also created this input handler which reads the text from a file. So in my inputs directory, day one, I've got the example and the input, so I can read those in a little bit more easily. So let's have a look at day two. Dive. Okay, so now you need to figure out how to pilot this thing. It seems like the submarine can take a series of commands like forward 1, down 2, or up 3. Uh, forward X increases the horizontal position by X units, down X increases the depth by X units, up X decreases the depth by X units. Makes sense. Okay. Note that since you're on a submarine, down and up affect your depth, and so they have opposite results of what you might expect. Yeah, so up lowers the value. Fair enough. Submarine seems to already have a planned course, your puzzle inputs. You should probably figure out where it's going. For example, forward 5, down 5, forward 8, up 3, down 8, forward 2. It already has a planned course, your puzzle inputs. This is my input. You should probably figure out where it's going. For example, okay, that's my example input then. So let's just create a new folder, day two, create a new file, example.txt. That's in there. Okay, so that's the inputs we're expecting. Your horizontal position and depth both start at 0. The steps above would then modify them as follows. So forward 5 adds 5 to the horizontal position, a total of 5. Down 5 adds 5 to your depth, resulting in a value of 5, and so on. Okay. After following these instructions, you would have a horizontal position of 15 and a depth of 10. Multiplying these together produces 150. Calculate the horizontal position and depth you would have after following this planned course. What do you get if you multiply your final horizontal position by your final depth? Okay, cool. So, not building on particularly yesterday's puzzle. That's my inputs. So I don't know why I copied it because it's got nothing to do with it. Day two. So that's going to be a public static class, day two. I'm actually going to make it a class. I'm going to have an object, submarine. And this is going to have an integer of x and an integer of y. And it's going to have instruction. That is going to have a That's probably a vector and magnitude, isn't it? And my vector is going to be public enum direction, and that's going to have up, down, and it's going to have forward. This instruction is going to take. Ooh, didn't like that, did it? See, let's save it. See if that updates the IntelliSense. It doesn't like that. That's going to take a string. They're going to have, so this, we're also going to have a property which is I feel like I've gone a little overboard on my object-oriented programming here, but hey, instructions. And he doesn't like the fact this is called day 2, does it? And that's going to take a file name, string name. And I'm going to get inputs.read. That's going to get those as strings. Name the file. And we're going to populate those instructions just for completeness. We're also going to set those. And then we can have a prop on it, which is going to be the result. And that's just going to it's just going to return x times y. We're also going to want a method for run, I guess. I'm going to go for each instruction in instructions. Oh, I'm kind of all over the place. Instruction dot good morning, people, by the way. I've just noticed messages in the chat. If you see me doing something stupid, please do do tell me in the chat if you see. I feel like I've gone a bit overboard here already. We're 10 minutes in. And I've not got any answers yet. But I'm kind of predicting that maybe object-orientated it might help me in part 2 of the task. Right, so instruction dot split. I'm going to split that on the space. And I kind of want to go to enum dot. Can I do that? Type is read-only span. or string. Cool. Parts 0, and so that's going to be the vector. I don't think it's going to like the capitalization. And then we're going to also have the magnitude, and that's going to be int.parse parts second bit, because I think forward, down, yes, yeah, okay, so that kind of works, maybe. And then for each instruction, I'm going to do a switch on instruction dot vector case instruction up. We're going to that's y plus equals, because we're going up, so we're that decreases the depth. Okay, so this, we can't call this x and y because we need depth and forward. So depth minus, because the direction kind of matters. So that direction equals instruction dot magnitude break case down. It'll be very similar. We're going to do depth minus minus equals the magnitude break forward. That's going. Oh, that's going down. The depth thing increases. That's going to increase the forward. What did I call it? Plus equals magnitude. Break. Okay, that might work. I'm a little bit worried that this isn't going to work. So let's stick a breakpoint on there. We're going to not care about that. We're going to do day2 dot submarine sub equals new submarine, and that is going to include day2 example. That's just the file path, basically. Then I want to write line sub dot let's do the depth forward, that variable needs changing, and results. So should we just run it? Sure. Let's just see how broken it is. Helps to rename your variables when you rename them. As I said yesterday, folks, I do not use Visual Studio Code, so I'm using all the wrong shortcuts all the time. But this is kind of my excuse to practice writing some .NET 6. Oh yeah. Sub dot run. Unhandled exception. Nice. Value forward was not found. Cool. I'm going to be really lazy about this, and I am going to go up, down, forward. I can't remember what I was just saying. It's not contain the definition of down. Of course it doesn't, because anyone know what the anyone who's watching know what the shortcut is for renaming? I think it's clicking this icon here when you rename it. But I need a keyboard shortcut for that because I can't cope. Anyway, like I was saying, I don't use Visual Studio Code. I haven't written any .NET 6 for ages. So kind of makes sense that I thought I'd spend some of my time doing this, and I thought I'd try using things that I don't use very much. So position of 15 and a depth of 10. What about first? Depth. Yep, depth forward or position as it's called here. And that gives me 150. Cool. That gives me some hope that when I download this, I don't trust myself to be able to find this folder quick enough, so let's move that out of the way. Inputs, day 2, input.text. Cool. So let's give this input now. That's not going to work. That looks like a number that's too big, but we'll find out. Oh, yay, good. 1 gold star. Okay, on to part 2. So this is where I'm hoping my submarine is actually, a submarine object is actually useful. I'm going to commit everything I've done so far. Day 2, part 1, in case anybody wants to get back to this point before I've done part 2, just in case I abuse it. Right, based on your calculations, the planned course doesn't seem to make any sense. You find the submarine manual and discover that the process is actually slightly more complicated. In addition to horizontal position and depth, you also need to track a third variable, aim. Okay, let's do that as we go, just because I don't like calling this forward. We're going to call this position. Horizontal. We're going to call it horizontal position. And hopefully I can Nope, not that one. I feel like there should be a way to do this. Come on. F2. Really? Is that not just going to rename the file? Let's try on something. Oh, nice one. Well done. I mean, that is a very sensible shortcut, so I like that. So F2 is a rename. Right, okay, where were we? We're going to track another variable called aim. Aim. Which also starts at 0. Aim is 0. The commands also mean something entirely different than you first thought. Okay, we've got angles involved. So down increases your aim by X units, up decreases your aim by X units, forward does 2 things. It increases your horizontal position by X units, and it increases your depth by your aim multiplied by X. Cool. Okay, I think this is actually really useful for my the hoops I jump through to make this a object. Makes this so much easier to translate from the requirements to the object, because we're dealing with an object. Submarine is an object and it has abilities to move and stuff. So let's finish reading this instead of waffling. Again, note that since you're on a submarine, down and up, to the opposite of what you might expect. Down means aiming in the positive direction. Yeah. Now, the above example does something different. Forward 5 adds 5 to your horizontal position and a total of 5, because this is just a walkthrough. Let's read this later. After following these new instructions, you would have a horizontal position of 15 and a depth of 60. Okay. Okay, cool. So we've got the aim. So now we're saying that down increases your aim. Increases your aim by X. Up decreases your aim by X. Forward increases your horizontal position by X units, and it also increases my depth by magnitude times aim. Might be quite a simple second part to this one. Let's try with the example. I've kept this example to walk through if we need to, because I'm pretty sure that where we're doing something a bit object orientated, I feel like it should just work. 60, 15, 900. 15, 60, 900. Awesome. So let's do that on the input. That's quite an easy second half, in fact. That's the right answer. Yay. Oh, and in 22 minutes as well. That's good going. Got I like the celebration there. Thanks for that. Very similar to my approach as well, but I used a switch expression and records. That makes sense. I used a switch expression, I think. Where did you use a switch expression? It's also very reassuring that someone else has done something vaguely similar to what I've done. Yes, I use a switch to decide which way I'm going. I did use a switch statement. Yay! Oh, I see. A switch statement versus a switch expression. I need to look into that. Is that a core thing? Or am I just misunderstanding? That's cool though. If you if you got your code on GitHub as well, paste it in. I'd love to have a compare. That'd be great. So there we go. That kind of works. Like I say, I'm not that new. I'm quite new to, well, new again to .NET Core, .NET 6. So everything's coming back to me. I've done a lot of framework in the interim. That kind of works. I normally like to keep my history so I can see the part 1 and part 2, but I'm not going to do that today. Day 2, part 2, because it builds on it so much. So let's commit that. Link to the. You can see my. Where are we going? There. Link to GitHub, etc. Is all there. Yes, you're using tests. That's awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to do, but I decided that I didn't have time to set it up yesterday. I also didn't have time to set it up. Set up the input reading thing. Yesterday took me pretty much half an hour, including working out how Twitch works. So I didn't manage to do that. Oh, Blazor wrapper as well. Oh, I'm gonna have a play with your code. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, at some point I'd like to use tests as well to run the scenarios, but this is just quicker, and because I'm trying to get it into half an hour every day, I didn't have that groundwork in place at the start. I decided to do this about an hour or two before I actually committed to it, so didn't have any prep time. But like I said, I did sort out my input passing logic yesterday outside of that half hour. So hopefully I'll get some more time to tidy this up and maybe play with tests and things like that. And I'm definitely going to have a look through your code that you posted. Smab UK. Are you someone I know? Do I know you? Who are you? I don't think I know you. Nice to meet you. Okay, cool. That's it. I got today off, so I'm gonna go and have my day off now. I'll be back here tomorrow. Again, I might do it a bit earlier than 1 p.m. because it's a day off again tomorrow. So I will update my Twitch and post in the usual places of Twitter and the Embraco Slacks and Discord. Yeah, thank you very much. Speak to you tomorrow, hopefully.